Let's talk about one of my favorite concepts in movie and game design. So everyone say hello to Zach. Hi, Zach. Um, it's a concept that I've been talking about a lot recently, especially with playing Abiotic Factor because I do it a fair few times, and then there's also a few other games that I really love that do it quite a bit. Sorry, cameras all over the place because of the cat. But it is the concept of diegetic design, or diegesis, I think is the term. And I'm not an expert on terminology or anything like that, but I can explain it as best I can. So, film example that helps explain it best is you hear music in the movie or show you're watching, but then the characters start to react to the music because the music is actually in the world. That is diegetic. That is from within the world, the thing that you are hearing or seeing is actually happening, and the characters are able to react to it. Oh my gosh. Like this cat right here. Anyway, um, it's fun in film because it adds a layer to the narrative. It adds some depth to the world. It adds some connection between you and the character because you start hearing a song, for example, that you associate with like maybe the villain, but then you realize the characters are also hearing the song and reacting to it in the way that they would react as if like what's going on. This is something we associate with the villain. Um, and it just adds a layer to that scene, right? You can do this in game design too. You can do this in game design too. Now, oftentimes in games, like you are the character, so like the music is something that you're gonna react to anyway. But I love it when instead of just being over play like a soundtrack played over the game, uh, you get music that's being played through like an old jukebox or something like that. You start hearing it, you're like, what is that sound? And eventually you get closer and you're like, I know this song. Or another good example is instead of having all information for the game only displayed on your HUD, when they display information on like shooters, sometimes you get weapons that have something displayed on it. Like if you're playing an aliens theme game, um, and you get the Wayland Yutani assault rifle. It has an ammo count displayed on the side on a little like LCD, just 10 like the standard like digital character display. Um, or for a really good example, using Abiotic Factor, which is the game I'm most motivated to talk about this because of this game. Like the charging tables have little dots along the bottom of them to tell you how charged up your uh, um, your device is when you're putting it on there. The planters have little um, areas that show you how much water they have left relatively. It doesn't give you an exact number, but when you hover over it, you get that information in your HUD as well. But you can, at a quick glance, just be like, oh, I need to throw water in this planter. Oh, I need to pull this item off of the charging table. And I think that kind of design really is something that's overlooked. Like, obviously, don't use only that because you do still want a certain level of clarity in your information that you're communicating to the player. There's a certain amount that we expect, but there are moments in games where you'll do something and the rest of the world doesn't react to what you did. It doesn't even feel like you actually did anything, except for the fact that you'll have your objective updated and a new marker put on your HUD to follow and go over to here and do this thing instead now. And that just takes me out of the experience. It just takes me out of the game. I'm just like, okay, I'm doing a chore now. I'm not getting any reaction out of the world. I'm not getting any satisfaction out of it. I'm not getting any reason to keep doing the things versus Half-Life has this stuff all over. Um, like there are parts where you're activating different valves and opening up different things to flow materials to different parts of the facility. One example being when you have to fire the test rocket, you actually get to see stuff flowing through the pipes. You actually get to see stuff moving. And when you leave those areas, you actually get to see like, okay, I have done this, and there's no objective markers. There's no anything to tell you like this is what you've done. This is where you're at. You literally just have to look at the world and be like, that's good, that's good. Okay, we still need to do this part. I there was another example I had from that same game that I can't remember because I'm distracted. Um, I mean, but like there's all these little things that you can do in game design that just, if you make the world feel like it is actually reacting to and is actually providing information for the world rather than putting it all on a little flat HUD thing, you know. VR games really have to be good about doing this. So like Half-Life Alyx puts your HUD on the back of your hand, but you also only get information that is relevant to what you actually have out on the back of your hand for it. Like that's fun. I like it. You know, I like having to look at parts of space to have to get information. Obviously, like don't do it. Don't do it with like health. Make it something that's readily accessible. Again, VR games, they have their own challenges, but because how do you make a HUD float naturally in someone's field of view without feeling like they've got something plastered to their face? You don't. Um, but like HUD, ammo count, you know, those are fine things to have. Just or health, ammo count, those are fine things to have. Yeah, if you've got armor, that kind of stuff. But like, um, feel free to play around with it and make things look interesting. Give me little details to look at and obsess over. Because that's why I play games. Yeah, the narrative, but also just seeing little details and bits of polish that people decided to put into it that they had no reason to actually put in the game, but it is so freaking cool that they did. Yeah, do that. So, yeah, keep an eye out for that. Give me some examples of some of the stuff that you've seen that you really, really like from movies, from games. You know, I'm not sure if it's really possible in other forms of media, but yeah, give me some examples. I'd love to see your favorite moments of stuff like this. But yeah, be excellent to each other, be excellent to yourselves, and I will see you around.